So Jada Pinkett Smith's book came out on Tuesday and not doing as great as all this publicity that she's been getting from this book tour. Once again, let's talk about the do's and don'ts with this book tour. Hi everyone, Alexandra here, and I cover everything from publicity do's and don'ts to visibility strategies to help you grow your visibility and monetize your business. And I know that this particular topic, when I've mentioned it in the past or when I've covered it in the past, has gotten a lot of hate for Jada. People are like, I can't stand listening to any more of this. I get it. But remember, we're not talking about her business. We're not talking about the drama. We're talking about the learning lessons from this experience, okay? So it's a big distinction because some people are like, I don't want to hear it. Well, okay, fine. Yes, I don't want to hear it either, but I'm covering it because there are key takeaways here. Okay, so Jada Pinkett Smith wrote a book called Worthy out on Tuesday. And in my last video on this topic, I talked about how she revealed on the Today Show with Hoda that she had been separated, essentially divorced, but not on paper, with Will Smith since 2016. And we were just like, wait a second, hold on. She's been, playing this like speak about everything, be super vulnerable, blah, blah, blah. But this is like a pretty big deal that she hasn't shared with the world. It was a little strange, right? Like it was, I like to tell with my audience, flip-flopping on your message. So trying to say one thing, but actually meaning something else. She went back on the Today Show, and I'm going to share a clip here in a moment, but seemed to almost like take back or walk back what she said or clarify. Clarify is what it says on the article where the clip is of this segment. And so not sure why that is, but let's watch it and discuss together. But before we do that, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to my channel for the latest news, tips, and strategies to grow your visibility and monetize your business. So this is just a portion of the entire interview actually, let me just back up. It's highly unusual for somebody to do, especially like a big media clip like what she did last week with the Today Show, and then go back on that same media channel to clarify things. It's highly unusual. So I think that she either definitely saw that there was a huge backlash and people weren't like respecting or trusting what she was saying. Pretty much that's probably exactly what happened. Because I don't know why she didn't make that clear or why that point wasn't clear. Hoda seems completely shocked. Like she had no idea, like she didn't understand. And Jada's almost like annoyed that she didn't understand. So anyways, let's continue to watch. This is just one portion of the entire interview.
It is 8:14 with Jada Pinkett Smith. Our wide-ranging, revealing conversation made a lot of headlines. We talked about her journey from the streets of Baltimore to the heights of Hollywood, that incident at the Oscar, her battle with severe depression, her relationship with Will Smith. And after all of it, Jada says she's finally feeling worthy. That's the title of her new book. It's out tomorrow. So after we had our long sit down, this is stuff you've been carrying with you for many, many, many years, and it's out there.
Yeah.
So as we sit here today in a reflection of, was it the right thing to reveal, to talk about everything? Do you feel like you made the right choice?
Absolutely. I think at some point, I had to talk about my journey, and I think just like we were talking about, I think there's so many of us who, hold so much, specifically women, and feeling like we're going to be criticized.
Yeah.
We're going to be
Can't say anything.
judged. You can't say anything.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part about it is like this whole journey, as difficult as it's been, has just brought Will and I closer in such an authentic way. Instead of trying to be a thing, it's like just tearing all that down and finding what's true between us.
Wow.
And it's been beautiful. It's been difficult.
It's been difficult.
But beautiful.
Because one thing people were really still concerned about or confused about
Right.
really was, okay, hang on. They've been divorced in theory, but not on paper.
Yes.
They were not together, but kind of pretended they were together. So I had trouble articulating exactly why that was. So now that you've had more time, why was that?
We really needed time to get solidified because at the end of the day, Will and I love each other. You know, we had to really figure out what we wanted before we went into the world to say what was going on, because we were in such, you know, we were just kind of in this very fragile place. And so now we're just super solid.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think that Hoda, some reporters, some journalists really like to kind of like get the sticky story and like stick it to the person. That wasn't the case here with Hoda, right? We're not talking about like that. I think it was Diane Sawyer and Britney Spears, where, you know, huge age difference, huge power dynamic difference. That's not the case here. Hoda wasn't trying to like, I got it, I gotcha, right? So that's where I think the disconnect there is, like I said, the flip-flopping in the message, right? Being inconsistent in what she's relaying. So, okay, let's continue.
Now I can actually talk about what the journey has been.
So Will talked to the New York Times, or gave a statement, and this is what he says. We'll put it up on the screen. This is from the Times itself. The memoir, Will Smith said in an email, kind of woke him up. She'd lived the life more on the edge than he had realized, and that she is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. And this is the quote: "When you've been with someone for more than half your life," he wrote, "a sort of an emotional blindness sets in, and all you can do, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties." It sounds like an emotional blindness. He didn't see you. Is that kind of what it was that he?
I think, yeah, that's
all right. Hold on. I want to address this statement. I don't know what the heck he just said in that statement. I don't think he said anything, right? And there could be many reasons for this, right? Like maybe he was cut at the knees by his wife, who he's been separated with, but he's still a wife on still a wife on paper, or yeah, still a wife on paper, and you know, very vague, strange statement. And on top of that, he actually went to one of the book signings or a book event that she had the last couple of days, and really like was there, was present, saying that he's supporting her, like she supported him and all that stuff. So sounds like he's standing by her side. And but that vague statement is like kind of reflective of like that whole confusion that we've had from this whole thing. Okay, let's continue.
He didn't see me and I didn't see him, right? Yeah. And so we kind of had to go our separate ways to see each other. You know, because when you're in a relationship and you're kind of just pulling at that person to be something for you refuse to see them. And so we had to go our separate ways to really look at ourselves and see the blocks that we had in order to find a way back.
If you find another great love, or if Will finds another great love.
There's no finding another great love. And I think that's the point. It's like, we are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space, and we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us.
So it may not be the divorce on paper anymore?
There's no divorce on paper.
I mean, not on paper. There might not be a divorce in theory anymore?
Yeah, no, we really have been working hard.
Oh,
see?
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
Hoda was really uncomfortable here. One, I don't think if you noticed, she cleared her throat. She wasn't very comfortable. She was uncomfortable, and she was, she was like doing this with her papers. So this, I almost feel like this was something that she was kind of forced to do by her producers, that she maybe didn't want to do that. And, I get it. Like, as a reporter, you don't want to be seen as wrong. But again, I don't think that Hoda did anything wrong. I think that the clarification or the statement needed to be made by Jada. Hoda seems genuinely surprised that they got this wrong. That the whatever. So that's why I'm like, was it Was it Jada? And in my last video I did, I said, was it a publicity stunt to get more sales, or what was going on here, right? For her to reveal all that information. So now she's saying that they're working on it. They're in the healing process. So okay, let's continue.
So wait, just so I'm 100% clear, you were divorced, not on paper, but now we might be a point where we're back together.
We are working very hard at bringing our relationship together.
Back to a marriage again.
Back to a life partnership. Yes, because here's the thing about husband-wife marriage for me, my healing process. I came into that with very specific ideas, right? Very specific ideas that were blocks to me just seeing Will as who he is. He can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is. He accepts me for the human that I am, and we want to love each other there.
Okay, so you might like live in the same house and have the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay, so I sounded like from the original interview that they were living separately. So you see, it's like it was confusing then. Hoda's confused now, right? Like I think this is a genuine reaction from Hoda. So, all right, let's continue.
The only special that I felt like got lost.
Well, guess what? It is found. We found it today. Jada, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. All right, Mr. Roker, how about a check of the...
You landed the plane, baby. I like that.
Even Al Roker had to make a joke about that, like kind of like the awkwardness of like getting to the point. All right, so it's just interesting because let's talk about publicist dues, right? Like if there is miscommunication or even a crisis, you want to get behind it and you want to clear things up. So I guess, let's say that that's what she's doing here. On the other hand, still vague, still a little unclear. The statement from Will Smith, not clear at all. And then how she's describing her relationship now is unclear. It's still vague. I guess from a brand standpoint, going back on the media outlet and getting them to like kind of make a new story, I guess is a good do for you, right? Unfortunately, media get things wrong all the time. It's not always their fault. They're on deadline. They're rushing to do things, so it's not always their fault that they get it, but a lot of times it is, right? A lot of times they make mistakes. And so having to make a retraction or have some type of a correction, happens all the time. When I was an active publicist and I was going out there and pitching and like having this great story, and then there was this one really ridiculous mistake, and then the client's upset, and then I had to go back to the media outlet, and sometimes they don't care anymore because it's already out, right? So on her end, she actually got them to cover her again, right? And that's like a big deal, right? Having a segment with a celebrity is a big deal. So they were looking at it like, okay, you're always covering a celebrity. That's always going to get more clicks and stuff like that. So that's good for them too, right? So I guess it was a win-win for both of them. Okay, so I just checked on Amazon and the ranking for the book. It's number 10 in all books, number 1 in women's biographies, number 1 in Black and African American biographies, and number 2 in memoirs. Now, keep in mind, because I've had books on Amazon, you choose which categories that you want. All right, let's see. Who is number 1 in memoirs? Okay, Britney Spears is number 1. And she's also been coming out in her own way, right? Number 10 in books. See the top 10. Let's see who else is number. Okay, so Britney Spears is number 1. Prequel. Atomic Habits. So Worthy is number 10. Interesting. So Britney is another one that I wanted to talk about, do's and don'ts. And she's also been kind of going on her, spill everything, spill the tea tour, I would say. And so maybe it worked in her case. And so she's number 1. Book hasn't even come out. It's in pre-order. I actually bought it or pre-ordered it on Audible. So I'll be listening to it and we'll be able to talk about it together if you're interested. So back to Jada. And so book is doing okay, right? Like obviously it's going to do okay because she's a well-known name, celebrity, so it's going to do okay, but not number 1. And so interesting, and not and she's a top 10 book. And that's as of today. So I don't know how it was on Tuesday when the book actually released, but as of Thursday, which is today, that's the rating of the book. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know you're sick of hearing about Jada Pinkett Smith. I know I'm going to get a bunch of those comments. I get it. But again, this is not about the drama. This is about the learning lessons, the key takeaways that you can apply to your brand, whether you're a business, whether you're a creator, you're an influencer, you're a coach, an expert, whatever you are, you can apply this to your own brand and take those key takeaways for your brand. So if you learned something new, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel where we discuss the latest news and strategies to help you grow your visibility and monetize your brand. And with that, remember, it is your time to be boldly seen and heard. All right, everyone, bye for now. For more help growing your visibility and monetizing your brand, go to alexanderfigueredo.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you.